I mean, you are ridiculously good.
How good was that compilation there? That
you
was
like
amazing.
that?
Yeah.
Well,
You guys always do the best.
There's a lot to choose
team,
from.
well done.
Yes, that looks amazing. You've made me look really good there. Thank you.
Well, you made you look really good. And, I mean, the 10s are flying. They are everywhere, but they are not all coming at the same time. Sort of that elusive 4-10, the 40 points is yet to happen.
I think, yeah, it is elusive, and that's so special for it, for that reason. But the scores have been great so far, but that's not always kind of the primary concern. Just you want to try and execute something you've worked so hard all week for.
Yeah.
Like 12 hours a day we're doing in the week, and we're just working so hard. You just want to make sure it all goes right on Saturday. Yeah. And sometimes, quite often, it doesn't. There's always a few mistakes here and there, and that's part of the process of where you're just getting better every week and hopefully improving every week as well.
Well, it hurts as well. I mean, you posted a picture on Instagram of the fact that you've got bruises down your leg.
Everywhere, yeah. There's.
Look at that!
There we go. Is it not a bit early in the morning for that?
Why are they on your... It's on your thighs, isn't it?
It was on my thighs. There was a part of the dance last week where I was like a stomp number and I was kind of...
Hitting your leg?
Yeah, and I didn't realise... I must bruise easily. I didn't realise the damage I was doing.
Oh, gosh.
Your mum was so thrilled, wasn't she? When you... How did she feel when you first danced, your first dance?
She was immensely proud, which was, she texted me the morning after my dance and said, it kind of listed the things I'd done as a kid growing up, from... I think she's entered me into a beauty pageant when I was first born as a baby, which I didn't win. She reminded me that, unfortunately, you didn't win that. But then you started acting and you did various TV commercials or whatever and got a part in Emmerdale and kind of listed all these things, that a lot of the things I'd somewhat forgotten about, and she reminded me of them. School plays or anything like that. And at the end, she said, but I was most proud of watching you last night doing that dance. And it honestly just, my mum and dad are the most important things in my life, people in my life, and I just wanted them to be proud, and so to get that acknowledgement on a text was just so amazing. Nice.
And your dad, I mean, is a bit of an inspiration for all of this, actually, because, he wasn't a dancer, but he came alive on the dance floor. He was a natural. Yeah, my dad's pretty quiet and quite shy, unassuming guy, and the minute there's a bit of music there, he just loves getting up on the dance floor and dance along to Motown and Northern Soul. So growing up, it was his favourite song, Frank Wilson's Do I Love You, yeah. And it became my favourite song because, I guess like all children, you idolise your dad. I certainly did. And, I came alive on the dance floor. Seeing him come alive on the dance floor, it's just what I wanted to try and emulate on Saturday night's show. I know, it was... Well, we as a family, we are quiet. We do play a lot of pranks on each other. And I mean, it works.
It certainly... I was encouraged all week by my mum and my brothers as well, so we're all in on it, really. But, yeah, he thought he was going to be dancing at the start of the show for... I actually said to him, maybe like 5 or 10 seconds at the start, Tess will probably come to you. And rather than at first, you think, saying to my dad's a normal guy, he's not in, in this industry. And I was expecting to say, well, what do you mean dance? What will I have to do? And the first thing he said was, well, what will I wear?
And it progressed from there.
And it progressed from there. He then went into the living room and showed my wife was secretly filming him, and he was telling her how he was going to dance and what he was going to do.
Oh, you need to make this happen, actually.
Did he go out and buy some...
He went and bought some talc. He had his hair cut. He went and bought some talcum powder, because that's what they used to do. They used to go out and put it on the floor so they could slide along the floor. He was.
You've got to make up for this somehow.
I know,
I'm
sorry, Dad.
So the moment that he found out that he wasn't going to happen...
The moment we've got a group text, the Fletchers, we're all in it, my brothers and the mum and dad, and I sent in the recording of my wife that she was secretly recording him, and quite cruelly just put hook, line, sinker.
You are brutal.
There was a silence, and they took it really well. He just laughed and said... And then he texted my brother, because my brother then side messaged him and said, would you have really done it, Dad? Would you have danced in front of a live studio audience going on TV? And he said, well, yeah, if Kelvin wanted me to. I didn't really want to do it, but I'd do it for him. Aww. And I just thought...
You felt bad.
Yeah, well...
You felt bad.
You felt how you should feel.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Do you know what? Maybe you've given it... Maybe he inspired you to do this, and now you've inspired him to get back and do it, it sounds like.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see the next event we're at, maybe a wedding or, something like that. Me and my dad can hopefully have a dance together.
Yeah.
Final?
Yeah, it could be the final.
Could be the final.
I don't know. It's a bit premature, I think. Just concentrate on week by week at the minute.
You said earlier on, and it's incredible commitment. You have to have that. 12 hours a day, that does take you away from home, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's been the hardest thing to accept, really, is just being away from home. Today is my wedding anniversary.
Oh.
and you know, I'm not at home, and it's gutting really. I've got a young family, and not only that, you know, the wider circle, your friends. I've missed a friend's wedding recently, and that's the kind of what's tough. But like any gig, you've got to, for me especially, I've got to allow it to be completely consumed by it and give my best. And you know, and I've loved it. It's been an amazing experience, and one that I don't want to end anytime soon. And you know, but what's great about the show is the public decide ultimately. The judges give their critique, and the public get to decide who they want to save and who they don't. And that's why it's humbling that when you are saved, because, you know, there's no nice feeling knowing that the public are kind of rooting for you. So.
Well, thankfully, it's the public and not your daughter, because she may not be voting for you.
Well, she certainly won't be voting for me. Marnie, my daughter, her favourites are Anton and Emma, because they are, according to her, real-life prince and princess.
Oh,
so
well,
she's... And Anton, we went to Blackpool and I took Marnie up to the rehearsals, and Anton was just... I mean, I love him anyway, but he's got a daughter a similar age to Marnie, and she just wouldn't leave him alone. They was cuddling all day, and when we were rehearsing the walk down, and she's running across the floor, and the stage manager allowed it, and she's up with her with Anton, and yeah, it was beautiful to see. So there's certainly a few votes that I've lost in our household.
Yeah.
And it's the American Smooth this weekend, is it?
Yes, American Smooth. I'll be dancing as Gaston. From Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, amazing.
So, yeah, it's a great... And I got to meet Luke Evans yesterday as well. So
He's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I'm a mini Gaston. He's a real Gaston. I'm just a smaller version. But no, it's been incredible. And I think as an actor, I really kind of relish those opportunities where you can show a character and kind of dance, let that show through the performance.
And you're in very safe hands with Oti. She's brilliant, isn't she?
She's great. She's incredible. Her work ethic is you know, is exceptional. You know, in many ways, at the start of the week, they talk about this Strictly journey. You know, for me, it happens Monday to Saturday every week. It's not over the course of the show, really. And Mondays are always tough because you're coming off such a high of the weekend. But then it's like starting all over again. You know, you feel like a real beginner. You're given steps that you don't think you're going to be able to do. And a lot of the time, steps are taken out of our routines because that's where my talent simply runs out, you know. So you just got to keep trying. And I'm loving it. It's great, you know, who'd have thought I'd be in the quarterfinals, you know.
Well, I think we all did.
So.
Well, you are amazing. Absolutely
very,
amazing.
very
All that hard work is paying off. And hopefully it'll be 10s across the board this weekend. Come on, Craig. Goodness sake.
8 last week.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Right, thank you.
And happy anniversary.
Yes,
Thank you.
Happy anniversary, Elizabeth.
Yes, happy anniversary.